They say decay begins at the cell. But what if the decay you feel, the fading light, the crumbling memory, has been festering long before you ever noticed it? A chilling thought, isn't it? A silent, insidious enemy, relentlessly working its way through your very being, molecule by molecule, cell by cell, dismantling the fortress you call your body. It's an invisible siege, an internal war, and most of us are completely unaware of the battles raging within. We go about our lives, oblivious to the microscopic carnage, the relentless assault on our vitality, our cognitive prowess, our very existence. But there's a sentinel, a dark blue guardian, lurking in the shadows of the produce aisle, ready to stand against the tide of inevitable entropy. A tiny, unassuming berry, yet within its humble skin lies a power so profound, so utterly vital, it could be the only thing holding back the creeping horror of your own deterioration. This isn't just about health, this is about survival. This is about fighting back against the relentless forces that conspire to break you down, from the inside out. Are you ready to confront the true horror of what's happening within your own flesh? Imagine an invisible tempest raging constantly inside you. Not a storm of wind and rain, but a storm of rogue molecules, free radicals. These molecular assassins are like tiny, desperate thieves, ripping electrons from healthy cells, causing a cascade of damage, a domino effect of destruction. They target your DNA, your cellular membranes, the very machinery that keeps you alive. This isn't science fiction, it's the grim reality of oxidative stress, the precursor to accelerated aging, chronic disease, and a slow, agonizing decline. Every breath you take, every bite of processed food, every moment of stress, every brush with environmental toxins fuels this internal fire, fanning the flames of decay. Your cells, once vibrant and pristine, begin to warp, to malfunction, to prematurely wither and die. This is cellular aging, not the graceful progression of time, but a forced, violent degradation orchestrated by microscopic marauders. The skin sags, the joints ache, the energy wanes, these are merely the outward symptoms of an internal collapse. But what if there was a counteragent, a molecular shield, a specialized unit capable of intercepting these rogue elements before they inflict irreversible harm? The pigments responsible for a blueberry's deep blue hue, anthocyanins, are not merely colorants, they are molecular saboteurs, capable of passing the blood-brain barrier, directly neutralizing threats in the brain's most protected sanctuary. But their true power extends far beyond simple scavenging. In a cellular warzone, anthocyanins don't just clean up, they directly regulate the NRF2 pathway, a master switch for the body's own arsenal of detoxifying enzymes, essentially turning on internal cellular defenses that dwarf simple scavenging. They don't just put out fires, they activate your body's innate firefighters, arming your cells with a formidable defense against the relentless assault of free radicals, buying you precious time, prolonging your vitality, and turning the tide against the invisible tempest that seeks to erode your very essence. Without this internal defense, your body is left vulnerable, a fortress with crumbling walls, succumbing to an insidious enemy you can neither see nor feel until the damage is already done, until the insidious creeping tendrils of age and illness have taken root deep within your being, irrevocably altering the landscape of your internal world. The price of ignorance here is not just lost time, but lost function, lost memory, lost life itself. Now, turn your attention to the most complex, most fragile, and most terrifyingly vulnerable organ in your body, your brain. This intricate command center, responsible for every thought, every memory, every emotion, is under constant, subtle attack. The threat isn't just external, it's internal, a slow erosion of cognitive function, a relentless assault on the delicate neural networks that define who you are. Forgetfulness isn't just a quirky sign of getting older, it's a grim herald, a whisper of a coming storm, a potential precursor to a terrifying emptiness. Imagine your memories, your very sense of self, being chipped away, slowly, relentlessly, like a sandcastle battered by an uncaring tide. The vibrant tapestry of your experiences, the faces of loved ones, the knowledge you've painstakingly accumulated, all slowly fading into an irreparable void. The connections between neurons, once vibrant and instantaneous, become sluggish, corroded, or simply vanish. This cognitive decay isn't merely inconvenient, it's a dismantling of your very identity, a descent into a foggy abyss where clarity and recall are forgotten luxuries. But the blueberry offers a chilling counter-narrative, a defiant stand against this brain-devouring menace. It doesn't just protect, it rebuilds. Beyond scavenging, blueberries initiate a unique process called neurogenesis in the hippocampus, essentially spurring the growth of new brain cells, a phenomenon once thought impossible in adult humans. This isn't just about maintaining what you have, it's about actively generating new neural pathways, fortifying your mental fortress against the inevitable siege of time and stress. They enhance communication between neurons, sharpen your focus, and improve your processing speed, transforming your brain from a vulnerable, decaying landscape into a resilient, regenerating ecosystem. They arm your mind with the tools to resist the creeping tendrils of cognitive decline, to retain the sharp edges of your wit, to cling to the precious fragments of your past. Without this powerful ally, your brain remains a ripe target, slowly being hollowed out, leaving behind a husk of its former self, a terrifying shell where memories used to reside, a future of mental twilight looming ominously, threatening to engulf everything you hold dear in a silent, suffocating darkness. Next, consider the hidden highways of your body, your cardiovascular system. A vast, intricate network of blood vessels, tirelessly pumping life-giving nutrients to every cell. But this vital system is under constant, insidious threat. Imagine microscopic rust accumulating within these crucial pipelines, slowly, silently, narrowing the passages, stiffening the flexible walls, turning vibrant arteries into brittle, calcified tubes. This isn't merely an abstract concept, it's the silent killer lurking within millions of bodies, a slow-motion disaster unfolding unnoticed for decades. Endothelial integrity, the smooth, pristine inner lining of your blood vessels, is paramount. When it's compromised, when it becomes rough and inflamed, it's an invitation for disaster, plaque buildup, blood clots, the grim specter of heart attack or stroke. These are not just medical terms, they are sudden, brutal endings, moments when the life-giving flow is abruptly severed, plunging parts of your body, or your entire being, into irreversible damage or death. The relentless pressure of modern life, poor diet, and stress are all co-conspirators in this internal sabotage, chipping away at the very integrity of your circulatory system. But the blueberry stands as a bulwark against this internal decay, a microscopic engineer tirelessly working to maintain the critical pathways of life. The humble blueberry contains a specific type of tannin, proanthocyanidin, which doesn't just improve circulation but actively prevents bacterial adhesion in the urinary tract and even helps regulate the gut microbiome, turning your internal ecosystem into a hostile environment for invaders. This multifaceted defense ensures that your cardiovascular system remains robust and free-flowing. They don't just clean, they protect the very integrity of your vessel walls, making them more pliable, more resilient, less susceptible to the insidious buildup that precedes catastrophe. They are the vigilant guardians of your internal plumbing, ensuring that every cell receives the oxygen and nutrients it desperately needs, preventing the grim scenario of a catastrophic blockage or rupture. Without this microscopic intervention, your arteries harden, your heart strains, and the ticking time bomb within you accelerates its count, pushing you closer to a sudden, devastating event, a rupture of life itself, leaving behind a trail of irreversible damage and despair. Finally, let's confront the silent inferno burning within many of us, chronic inflammation and metabolic chaos. This isn't a dramatic explosion, but a low-grade, persistent fire, smoldering deep within your tissues, slowly consuming your vitality, degrading your health, and preparing the ground for a host of debilitating diseases. It's the body turning against itself, an immune system on overdrive, constantly attacking perceived threats, even when none exist, or exacerbating minor issues into major systemic crises. This insidious process contributes to insulin resistance, making your body increasingly inefficient at processing sugar, leading to a grim cascade of metabolic dysfunction, weight gain, and ultimately, type 2 diabetes, a slow, agonizing slide into a life dictated by medication and medical complications. The threat here is not immediate death, but a long, slow decline into discomfort, pain, and a severely diminished quality of life. Your body, once a finely tuned machine, becomes a battlefield of internal strife, constantly fighting itself, draining its energy, and wearing down its crucial systems. But the blueberry arrives like a cooling rain, a potent anti-inflammatory agent, soothing the internal inferno and restoring metabolic balance. They don't just suppress inflammation, they recalibrate your body's responses, bringing harmony to a system gone awry. They actively enhance glucose metabolism, making your cells more receptive to insulin, more efficient at utilizing sugar for energy, effectively disarming the ticking time bomb of insulin resistance and helping to regulate blood sugar levels. They act as microscopic mediators, calming the storm of internal discord and re-establishing order. This means less joint pain, less fatigue, a reduced risk of the metabolic disorders that plague modern society. They help your body regain control, transforming a state of internal chaos into one of balanced function. Without this calming intervention, your body remains perpetually inflamed, perpetually struggling to regulate its own energy, falling victim to a host of chronic ailments, a slow, agonizing descent into a life of sickness and suffering, each day a struggle against the unseen fires consuming you from within. So, what happens when you ignore these silent threats? When you let the unseen decay run rampant? Imagine, just for a moment, the true, horrifying reality inside your body without the potent defense of these vibrant berries. Visualize your internal landscape. It's not a pristine, efficient network, it's a festering swamp. Your arteries, no longer smooth conduits, are choked with a greasy, yellowish plaque, like sludge coating rusted pipes, each beat of your heart a desperate struggle to push viscous blood through ever-narrowing tunnels. Look closer, microscopic. Your brain cells, starved of nutrients and bombarded by free radicals, are shriveled, their delicate dendrites snapping like brittle twigs, leaving behind a horrifying, empty silence where memories and thoughts once sparked. Entire neural pathways are simply gone, vanished, replaced by a gray, amorphous void. Your cellular structures are not crisp and vital, they are distended, discolored, oozing, their internal machinery sputtering and failing, like decaying, mold-ridden fruit left too long in the sun. Each one is a tiny, putrefying sac, its precious contents leaking into the surrounding tissue, contributing to a viscous, toxic milieu. The very air you breathe, the food you eat, every stressor, adds another layer to this internal rot, transforming your organs into something alien, something grotesque, a squirming mass of inflamed, dying tissue. Picture the microscopic parasites, not literal worms, but the cellular debris, the oxidized fats, the protein aggregates, swirling in a murky, acidic soup, slowly devouring the integrity of your very being. It's not just a metaphorical breakdown, it's a literal, microscopic decomposition happening inside you, a repulsive, biological horror film playing out in slow motion, turning your vibrant, living cells into something akin to the slimy, putrid remnants of a forgotten meal, something utterly disgusting, yet undeniably yours. The horror, you see, isn't coming for you. It's already there, festering within.